Yeah, so this is the game. You like it? Yeah, me too. Welcome to Dimension Drifter, a fast-paced third-person shooter with a very interesting female protagonist, and if I had to quickly sum this game up for you, I would say it's like Doom with some roguelike elements. Yeah, I'm being for real. Except replace the Doom guy with this clearly more appealing and better protagonist. There's a whole lot to get into with this game, as you can see, but right before we do, let's talk about today's sponsor. We're checking out TheColdestWater. This is a company that stays true to their name and really makes top quality water bottles that stay cold for over a day and have many other good products as well, like this expansive and durable cooler and this high quality backpack that's spacious and strong, but also lightweight and comfortable to use. But you can't forget their classic top quality water bottles. With many different sizes and colors, there's plenty of options for you to be satisfied, from the 21-ounce bottle all the way up to a full gallon, and different colors like red, pink, and black. Just be sure to use the first link in the description if you're interested in any of these amazing products, especially the water bottles. And be sure to use my code for a discount if you want to support me and the channel. But with all that being said, let's get back into the review. Alright, so starting with the story, here, let me tell you the nicely written description on the Steam page. You are one of the most dangerous people in the world. Really? This chick? One of the most dangerous people in the world? I mean, okay. Our timeline has collapsed hundreds of years ago. Since then, ancient gods have emerged through the cracks of reality, shaping it into a twisted realm of chaos. You are the only one who can stop them. Okay, so none of that mattered. At all. Like, that's a very complicated way of saying this is an early access game inspired by Doom and roguelikes. Like, I'm someone who's not very good at paying attention to stories unless it's told really well, and there's no reason to pay attention to this story unless you want a slightly deeper explanation for what you're looking at right now. I mean, there's more on the story, but I honestly don't care. The only cool thing about the story that I care about is that it affects the gameplay. Like, you're able to dash and have slow motion, and I guess you are the most powerful anime girl in the world, so that could explain all the powers like having slow motion. But man, this girl can't even do a simple jump. I guess that's inspired by Doom, and speaking of that, let's talk about the gameplay and what you actually do in this game. So when you start any level, just like in Doom, your main goal is to get the yellow, blue, and red keys to get to the end of the level and to shoot anything that moves while you're doing it. You're equipped with both a shotgun and a pistol. You're able to slightly customize and upgrade your weapons. You also get to throw grenades and melee. The gameplay and shooting actually feels decently good. That part of the game doesn't feel like early access, but other than the physical weapons that are on your character, you also have a few powers. Since we are the most powerful anime chick in the universe, obviously we have the ability to dash and use slow motion. I actually like these features in the game. It feels good for movement and accuracy, and it's just fun. Opening up a door and not knowing what's on the other side, just to go in slow motion and throw a grenade or spam your shotgun, it's just some of the most fun moments in the game. Also, while you're walking around these levels, you can find booty chests. Yeah, you heard me right, booty chests. I don't know why I find that so funny. It's like this game has a well-explained story and tries to kinda seem like a real game, you know, other than the main character. But then it's like they gave up and just added booty chests. Like, come on. These booty chests can get you different types of gear and colors to customize your guns. There's a certain amount of chests per level, and you open them when you beat the level. This kind of gives you a sense of progression, but then I'd have to get into the real problems with this game relating to progression and replayability. And that is this game still being unfinished and in early access. Dimension Drifter came out in 2018, and it received its latest update in late 2019. I'm playing this game in April of 2021, and it's still in early access. Yeah, it's safe to say this game is never getting finished, and it sucks, cause I actually think this could have been a pretty good game. I know it's funny to say that now because of the busty anime chick, but I actually think this game was pretty fun for the short time that I played it. It's just a shame that it wasn't finished. There's very obvious things that tell you that this game isn't finished, like in the menus, and the game telling you it isn't done, and that it's still adding new items. Also, you complete these episodes to progress in the story in like a roguelike type of way, but I just stopped getting new items, so I assumed it was done and just unfinished. I mean, it said something about unlocking weapons in the booty chests, but I didn't feel like waiting to be lucky in this unfinished game. It just felt like a brick wall stopping the progression and fun of this game because it wasn't finished. There's also some things in the gameplay that tell you this game is unfinished, like how some parts of the level are designed, even though I generally was okay with the level design, but some things can just feel off. Like these doors have no structural reason to exist. You're able to shoot enemies from a safe distance. To be fair, some of them can shoot back, and also random things like some items not working for whatever reason. And if you get in a routine of playing this game like I did, your shotgun ammo from the previous session just disappears, and this can be a big deal when playing on harder difficulties. I started out on the easiest difficulty and thought it was too easy. Then I bumped it up to tough as nails, and for a Doom type game, that felt about right. The difference mostly seemed to be the amount of enemies spawning, and man, these enemies start to pop out like they're nothing. It really reminded me of Doom because the harder difficulties in that game made me conserve my ammo and think about which gun I'm using on which enemy. Even though there's only 2 guns in this game, on the harder difficulties, I had to think about which gun to use, or when to throw a grenade, or when to use slow motion, and it felt good to finish the harder levels that have lots of enemies. The enemy types are pretty cool too. A lot of them attack how you would expect, like having hit scan, projectile, and melee enemies. I'm sure you guys have seen enough of the enemies in the gameplay by now. The biggest thing you have to be aware of with the enemies spawning is that they spawn everywhere and all the time. Of course, this applies to harder difficulties and levels, but at a certain point, enemies start spawning behind you, in front of you, in previous rooms you entered, in the rooms you're gonna enter, after you step on a certain pressure plate. There's just a lot of enemies spawning and you have to be ready for it. But believe it or not, the 2 out of the 3 times I died was actually from shooting a grenade that I threw. Man, I felt so stupid when that happened. And the 3rd time I died was just from lack of ammo because of all the enemies spawning, which is a normal reason to die. But dying from the grenades caught me by surprise and pissed me off. But that's mostly everything I wanted to say on Dimension Drifter. It was just one of those early access games on my wish list that I was waiting to get updated, and I thought it was pretty safe to say that this is the final state of the game even though it's in early access. Hey, I mean, some games just don't get finished. It happens. This game was also developed and published by the people who made a more known and respected shooter called Unloved. And I plan on reviewing it one day, but I'm hoping it's more finished than this game. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. It was pretty interesting checking out this game, and if it still looks interesting to you, then I'd recommend it on sale for like $5 or less for a few hours of fun. But if you guys enjoyed the video, then please leave a like to support the channel. Also drop a comment telling me what you thought of this game, or if the thumbnail is the real reason you're here. Check on the screen or in the description for more videos. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell if you've been liking the videos and want to discover random games. Thank you guys for watching the entire video, and I hope to see you in another one. See ya.